So the Civil Aviation Authority sets the regulations for the UK aviation industry within the UK. Failure to comply with these regulations can result in the Civil Aviation Authority withdrawing the airlines or airports' licences. The Civil Aviation Authority is a public corporation of the Department of Transport. The Department of Transport / Security Department are run by the government and oversee the sustainable growth and efficiency of transport in the UK. They improve the environmental friendliness of the airport as part of their plan. Health and Safety Executive. This person or people will ensure that all parts of the airport are safe, as it is a legal requirement that all passengers are cared for. UK Border Agency. The UK Border Agency keeps things that are not allowed in the UK from entering the UK. For example, humans. Some people are not allowed in the UK because of previous crimes that they may have in their countries or something like that. The police have a high presence within the UK aviation industry. They like to be at the airport to make sure that people feel safe when travelling to and from the airport or within the airport. Local planning authorities. The local planning authorities decide whether an airport such as Heathrow or Gatwick can expand by giving another runway or terminal. They will need to get permission and see what the public says. Port Health will make sure that unknown diseases do not enter the country, as this could create an epidemic. Food Standards Agency. Anywhere there is food, the Food Standards Agency will be involved to check the hygiene of the food to make sure it is cooked, whether it in the airport or on the plane. The cost of compliance is a huge term that is used within the airline to pay for equipment to comply with regulations and train the staff that are employed using the equipment. Inconvenience is where there are queues for the passengers. The passengers do not want to be queuing for hours, and as a requirement, they are meant to be getting through security checks within certain times. There's always uncertainties within the airline industry, as they never know whether something may go wrong or there may be a terrorist attack. Cost of non-compliance. The costs of non-compliance are huge. If an airline does not comply with regulations, they will be fined. Fines can vary from a few thousand to millions. Also, it could give them bad publicity, resulting in a loss of business. A safer environment. All regulations are there to make the environment of the aviation industry safer. This is done by giving companies fines or... Task 3. I was required to review key commercial relationships that exist within the aviation industry and emphasise on their involvement on large-scale operations. For the examples listed below: commercial contracts, concession, and legal contracts. Commercial contracts are a key thing within the airline industry. The commercial contracts are a main bulk of income for the airport. This is with landing fees that the airlines have to agree to pay before landing. Heathrow's landing fees for Chapter 2 aircraft during the day is £8.8 thousand, while for the same chapter of aircraft At Gatwick during the day, the landing fee is £3,500. This is why you don't see many low-cost airlines flying out of Heathrow due to the costs. Concession. Airline workers will get some sort of discount when purchasing items at the airport or from an airline when flying out of the country. They will get discounted price of duty-free items, but catering will not be discounted. Legal contracts. All airlines have tenancy agreements in place with an airport, which gives them the right to fly in and out of the airport. The airline will also have an agreement for their offices to be premises either on-site or off-site. Task 4. I had to discuss the scope of the commercial agreement within the airline industry that are listed below. The type of agreement, the variety of purchasing scale and commercial agreements, the range of commercial agreements, penalties for non-compliance. So a type of agreement, product could be a product or a service. A product agreement is where the supplier and buyer have an agreement which allows the buyer to buy from that supplier, whereas a service is one that is required within the airline. So another company is ordered in to, say, clean the aircraft or restock shelves. The variety of purchasing scale of commercial agreements. Baggage label. The purchasing scale of baggage labels will be huge because of thousands upon thousands of baggage labels are used every day. So the purchasing scale will be very big. New aircraft. The purchasing scale of aircraft will not be as big because aircraft are very expensive and they carry approximately 150 to over 900 passengers, so the purchasing scale will not be as big because there are so many passengers can be carried on one aircraft. The range of commercial agreements. The airport with every tenant, so an airline like BA will have to have an agreement which means that they can take off and land from that airport. Airlines with every passenger. A passenger agrees to fly with the airline because they believe it is safe. If the airline does not agree to that or agrees to that but does not uphold that, they could be sued or liable for prosecution. Penalties of non-compliance are legal or commercial. The legal penalties are having to refund ticket prices or having fines taken or even complete closure of the airport. Commercial ones, these are for not complying, they may lose a purchasing agreement, which could mean that they run out of aircraft or the aircraft cannot be updated.